right, so this section we are looking at cloud computing, and most of us are pretty familiar with the benefits of cloud computing and sort of how we ended up where we are today with the difference between public and private cloud. There are some benefits, of course, if we are implementing a lot of things in the public cloud, then we might not need as much IT staff, and we have the availability to scale much more rapidly because we can spin up lots and lots of virtual machines in our cloud. We might have increased protection from data loss, although that might be argued. Some people might think that they do a better job of managing their data. Obviously, we are lowering those initial capital expenses. Maybe we're lowering those operating costs, or maybe we're just kind of moving some things around. Depends on what is more beneficial to our organization. Reliability is certainly something that most organizations are looking for when it comes to cloud, and ensuring that we have that increased development time. All of these, of course, are the benefits to cloud computing. And traditional IT, for many years, we had data centers on site. This was our private cloud. And once we started having resources and being able to support software as a service and infrastructure as a service, we started moving some of those resources to the public cloud. Now, if we still have resources in and on site with a private cloud environment, then the mixture of the two give us the hybrid cloud. Now, this is kind of a good visual because not all of us have an understanding or a clear line in the sand where infrastructure as a service resides and where PaaS and SaaS. So I'm just going to kind of bounce back and forth between this slide. When we look at infrastructure as a service, generally we're looking at all of the networking, the servers, all of the physical hardware. So if some other company is managing all of that infrastructure, then generally all the way up through the virtualization aspect of it, the provider is responsible for. So maybe the operating system and the middleware and everything else, we as the customer is responsible for. So making sure our operating system is patched and all of our applications are secured is our responsibility. Now, as far as the PaaS environment or platform as a service, we can see that everything up through basically that middleware is going to be the provider's responsibility, and all we as administrators have to do is manage that data and that application. All right, they're not responsible for the middleware. And then as far as SaaS goes, or software as a service, this is basically all of the provider's responsibility, right? So when we think about things like Salesforce or Gmail or Office 365, sure, the customer, right, is responsible for utilizing this software. Maybe we set up a way to send our credentials to authenticate, and maybe we even have a dedicated IT team that works with the provider to be able to tune the apps for our organization. But overall, they don't know the inner workings of the software.